Morning, guys. Mark Farashi. I am going to do one of my Yack sessions. If you guys didn't realize it, I'm missing a couple teeth, and you'll see it every now and then. I try not to smile because it looks pretty ugly. But that's what happens when you're dealing with dogs. Dog goes up and you're going down, or let them out of the back of the truck, and they're all excited coming out of their crate, and they'll headbutt me, and that's what happened with this. So I've got to save up some money before I can get to the dentist. It is what it is. It's part of being a dog trainer. Many times I've been bit, and now I'm getting older, and I'm starting to get smacked by dogs and losing teeth. It is what it is. In today's day in the world, insurance and everything's so damn expensive, and all of the good stuff that's happening. There's a lot of us that are getting older and being in situations of dealing with things without having the resources and the tools that we usually have that our system would give us. So I'm doing this on a YouTube Yack session that I call my little Yack sessions, and I usually get into the politics of things in regards to what's happening in our society. And it's way beyond politics, guys. This is a fascist regime that's trying to take over our country and then change our whole system of government into fascism and authoritarians. And we all know what's going on. And then yet you'll still have people out there that believe in what they're doing. You know, the Christian right's so entrenched, it's not even funny. I've got a guy that I've gotten to be friendly with technologically wise over the years I've been on the internet, and every now and then his feed will pop up into mine. Lately it's been popping up, and he's on the Christian right. And just the rhetoric that the Christian right puts out, even though this guy's a pretty good guy. I mean, I like him, and he's intelligent. He's got a good writing ability, I can't write worth a hoot, but so that being the case, I just had to get pretty forceful with him and tell him he's full of shit. He's basically trying to justify ISIS behavior, and he's using all the buzzwords that they use. It's all the demonization. And if you look at it and you see it, it's like it's constant, right? The whole weekend they got on the talk shows on Sunday, and they just bold-faced lied and tried to walk their way through and just totally demonize the other side. Excuse this jacket. Damn, my old jacket I wear around the house now. I got a brand new one now. So the demonization, and all the buzzwords, murderers, rapists, criminals, ISIS doing their job. They're going out to remove all these bad people from our society, right? Bullshit, right? The proof, we have the proof, right? The numbers don't support their rhetoric and their demonization of the other, right? They've been grabbing American citizens. They're grabbing people with no record other than they're in our country. They're trying to go through our system of government. They're going down the court system, and they're doing the game the way they should. And here comes ICE and pouncing on them. And it's bullshit. It's pure bullshit. It's racism. It's hate. It's everything else, and justifying it in that vein. It just angers. It just angers. It's so against our American ways and our American beliefs, The only good thing that we have for us going to be able to fight through this and to be able to end up winning, and we will. We're going to take back the power, and we're going to end up doing what we got to do to put our country back into what it needs to be. All our institutions have been ripped down to the ground. The money they've stolen and went in and did with the Doge program, all that bullshit with Elon Musk. And these guys are nothing but racist, assholes. Aren't even a part of our country. Elon's not a citizen. It just irritates the heck out of me. And he's not voted in, right? And same thing with friggin' Stephen Miller. One of the biggest racists and the biggest reason that we're where we're at is that Stephen Miller's back there like the puppet master doing what he's doing. And he's the biggest problem. He's a pure-on fascist, right? With all the wrong values that go against everything that is America, right? So it's happening. It is happening in our country, but we're slowly being able to fight back because of the people having their right to protest and going out and doing what they're doing to disrupt the system that they're trying to do, ripping people out of their homes and doing everything they're doing that's so wrong, right? We all know in our heart, even those that are on the other side and on the right that want to cling to this and get on the internet and argue and all this stuff, we know that it's totally wrong, but yet it's still happening. And the demonization, that's why I mentioned this gentleman. His name is Craig Chamberlain, and he's a Christian right. Look him up, see if you can find him. And he just wrote a long article just justifying all the things and using all the buzzwords. Murderers, rapists, this kind of crap, They've got him so brainwashed it's not even funny, And it's sad. But that's exactly what they do, and you can see it when they bold-faced lie to you, get on the news and claim all these things. He was there to do harm and to rape, pillage, and kill, and they're fucking bullshit. pure bullshit. He lived in the neighborhood. He's an ICU nurse with a huge heart that cares about people. He was there because he cares about his neighborhood, right? He had a camera in one hand and they pounced on him and just, it's all there. We can see it. There's the difference from us now to what they had to deal with in Hitler's times. When Hitler went into Germany and did what he did, imagine how and what they were doing to their people because they didn't have any way of recording the reality and the truth, right? Truth and facts matter, right? And it just drives you nuts. And right now what's happening to me on the internet is basically I post most of my stuff on Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg's, and he's doing the same thing for Trump that all the platforms are doing. TikTok, all the oligarchs and all the billionaires, right? They're bending the knee and they're choking our voice. We call it shadow banning, right? They come in and they make it so my message can't get anywhere. And I have this little message that comes down below, and it allows me to click on it, and I can see where my feed is going, how many hits I have on that feed. They're not letting it go anywhere, so there is no feeds, and they're telling you that they're doing it to you by putting this little thing that you can hit, and it tells you how many clicks and where your feed's at and all the analytics behind your post, right? And when I see that, I know that they've choked it, right? Right away they choke it, right? Used to be I always get chimes, and it would always go out into the feed. Well, I'm into that. No, I'm not in the feed. I'm in the one that they're stifling, right? They'll let little trickles out, but other than that, the only people that can see it, if they go into my profile and go see my posting, they can see my post with that virtue at all, but it doesn't go out into the mainstream. It's like being in a house and you're or in a room and you're in a straitjacket, right? They've got you clamped down and you're screaming and yelling for help, and nobody can hear you because you're in a room that's been designed to stifle that. You can't even get your voice is not going to go anywhere, right? That's no longer freedom of speech. It's being censored, right? You are being clamped down, period. And they're doing it to anybody that's on the left. Any of our voices on the left, we're being screwed with. And you've got to have enough technical knowledge to be able to overcome that by having a feed source that's larger, that you're able to go out, because you're on TikTok, you're all over the place. I only post on Facebook, right? My normal reposting is what it is. I'm finding all the good stuff that stands for our side, and I'm reposting out to make sure that it gets to the feed. They don't want it to go out, right? They've got it stifled. They don't want it to go anywhere, right? So it is what it is, but it's frustrating. It's real frustrating when you don't have a voice because you can't get out. See, that was what the internet was founded on. Think about it. It gave us the ability to be able to get past the gatekeepers, to have a voice, and to get out there with that freedom. And that's what we thrived on when the internet started. That's what made it so neat, that you could get your voice out there, and you could end up overcoming the gatekeepers and having your voice be out there and get clicks and end up getting a voice that you never could have before because the gatekeepers would keep you back. Well, now the gatekeepers are back. On every one of the platforms, Blue Sky maybe, or whatever, the one that all the Democrats are on, I can't think of the name of it, Blue Sky, whatever it is, I'm not on it. I've never even been on it. I don't even have a clue what it's like or how it works. Threads is owned by Zuckerberg as well, right? He's no better, but nobody's saying his name, and I find that interesting, right? They're going after the TikTok guy that bought TikTok, but they're not going after anybody else, you know. Zuckerberg's got enough control of his platforms, and he owns Instagram and all of them, right? So just realize that we're being screwed with pretty heavy, you know. It's no longer can you get past the gatekeepers with your voice and to be able to get out there, because if you get people that come at you and they shadow ban you and they cancel culture you, and that's basically what happens with me, because I am a very opinionated and I get right back out into people's face, right? So it is what it is. Have a good day, guys. We'll get through this. Realize that we're making ends. We're getting somewhere, right? We just got to keep it up, and we got to realize it's money, right? It's the corporations with their money that is going to be the effect. Take away their money by us not spending with them and by us boycotting and doing what we're doing with the corporations and stop them. That's when you're going to start to see the wheels slow down, and they will no longer have any voice, because the corporates don't want to lose their money. Target and every one of the big corporations that are all part of this, right? And that's what he's done. He's come in and he's even got the lawyers going in with him. They're bending the knee. They're paying them off and all this bullshit that's going on. And then here's the poor people at the bottom of that pile that are being manipulated and messed with just for money for the people at the top of the pile, right? We all know what's going on. Our system is being very heavily affected by fascism, authoritarian, oligarchy, and following the same model as Russia, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, he's a Russian spy. He's a Russian spy, willing or unwilling, and he's been manipulated and put into that place. He's a very sick man now. Dementia's taking over. We need to get him out of office just for that alone, right? But then he puts in a whole bunch of people that are basically the same, right? Every one of them should be the whole thing. We should have an emergency, once in a lifetime, clear the gun wheels and start all over and start a whole emergency reset, a reset of our system. And we can do that. We know how this works. We've had 250 years to build it. We can rebuild it. We can. We're going to have to. It's going to be a lot of work. And it's going to take a little time. But our government works so slowly that all this stuff is happening in such a travesty, in such a way that could overwhelm us, but I don't think it's going to. He hasn't even gone into the rough cities yet. He's dealing with the nice guys, the nice Minneapolis people, right? Imagine what happens if he goes into Chicago, New York. Oh, hell's going to be. You think so? You think you wait, right? It will end. We will overcome this at some point with a lot of pain and anguish in between, but we will overcome. We will persevere. We will get our country back. Take faith in that. Just realize we just can't let up, right? We can't let up. They're going to try to manipulate us. They're going to try to make it seem like everything's okay and we're putting in a new man, and they'll do the old psychological good guy, bad guy routine, right? One guy's a bad guy and they'll demonize that one guy and then they'll move in a sweetheart, right? Like a Mike, what's his name, that's the Speaker of the House. That motherfucker is the biggest sweetheart type of guy you could think of, right? Good guy, bad guy, right? Think about the type of psychology they'll try to use against us, right? All right, I'll let you guys go. I apologize for the lack of a smile. Have a good day.